Hi everybody, welcome back. Today's brief video is 6 poses for improved sleep. We begin on our belly in Sphinx pose. So come forward, and of course please modify your practice if you need to today. Do what makes sense for you. You can also just cherry pick these poses to do on your own if you find something that works particularly well for you. Your Sphinx pose slides the fingertips forward, hugs the elbows in. So your elbows line up underneath your shoulders. The tops of the feet rest on the mat. Lift through the chest, soften the shoulders back. Feel your tailbone lengthen toward the heels. And if it feels good to do so, you're always welcome to close your eyes. If you prefer, you can just keep the eyes open, that's okay. And just focus on the breath. Your Sphinx pose, it's a passive back bend because it happens automatically just by resting with your forearms down. It opens the heart. It softens the shoulders back. And it helps to relieve tension along the back. It eases tension through the hips as well. It's a gentle hip flexor stretch, right, as most back bends are. And you can hold each of these poses for about a minute or so each. Let's hold this one for another 3 or 4 breaths. And opening up the eyes if they're not already open. And after we do a back bend, each time we do a back bend, we want to release and counter stretch. Our counter stretch from Sphinx pose is going to be child's pose. So slide the fingertips back, press onto hands and knees. Separate your knees, bring the toes together. You can reach the arms straight forward on the mat, or you can let the arms relax back behind you. So if you've had a long day and we're out to kind of release through the body, maybe the arms reaching forward is a nice stretch for the shoulders, a nice release. But again, do what's going to make sense for you today. If you find that child's pose is particularly tough for the hips, if this is too deep, you can always slide a blanket behind the knees. You can also put a bolster underneath your torso and your forehead. Let's hold here for a few more deep breaths. Just stay present and focus on the breath. release out, slide the hands in again, come up onto hands and knees. Cross at your ankles, sit back. We'll work our way into supported bridge pose. Take a block or a bolster if you have that, that's certainly fine. Lower down, keep your knees bending. Keep the feet flat on the mat. Lift your hips, slide the block underneath the sacrum. That's the flattish part of your back, right between the back of your pelvis. Make sure that your knees are pointing forward. Avoid the urge to let your knees roll out a little bit here. You can take a strap around the thighs, and that will also help keep your knees in place as well if you really want to not think too much about it. Also, you can lift the block onto the middle height, which I think is what I'm going to do. All 10 toes rest nice and easy. The toes point forward, knees forward. And just relax the arms alongside the body. You can close the eyes again or keep them open, yogi's choice. And we'll take another 4 or 5 deep breaths. Just keeping the mind calm. Allowing yourself this time to unwind from your day. Let's give it another deep breath or so. Removing your prop from under you, just push it out to the side. And stay on your back, lift your feet, keep the knees bending, cross your right leg on top of your left, so your right knee is in front, and grab your feet. Try to reach close to your ankles. If you don't quite reach the ankles, that's okay. Coming into reclining cow face pose, and just let your feet reach out to the left and to the right. Soften through the shoulders. Let's take another deep breath or two. Releasing out, unwrap your legs. Bring both feet back down onto the mat. We'll switch the sides. Lift your feet up again. Now take the left leg, cross it over the right. Hands to your feet or toward the lower legs, close to the ankles, if you can get there. Then your feet reach out to the left and to the right like you're tying a neat little bow. And giving it a few more deep breaths. One more full breath. Unwrap the legs again, hug the knees in, roll to your side, and just push up to a seated position briefly. We'll set up fish pose, supported. Again, you'll take a block, or you can roll up a blanket or take a bolster between the shoulder blades. I'm going to be demonstrating with a block. Take the block, start first with the block flush up against your hips, your back. You're not going to keep it there. Slide it further away. As you roll down, the bottom of the block should start somewhere in the middle of your back. It should be reasonably comfortable. As you lay back, your shoulder blades wrap around the block and your head drops back. The arms relax out by your sides. And if this is too much of a drop back for your neck, you can always take either a pillow or a second block and prop it behind your head. Eyes open or closed. And taking another deep breath or two. Releasing out nice and easy. You'll bend up at the knees. Again, roll to your side so you're rolling off of your prop. Remove it from behind you. Just move it to the side. You can hug your knees in toward the chest. Rock a little if that feels good. We'll finish with a nice reclining twist. Keep your knees bending, drop the arms out to the sides like airplane wings. Lift your feet up, keep the ankles glued together, keep the knees glued together, and drop your knees over to your left side. Keep both knees stacked, one on top of the other. And then, if you can, just turn your head toward the right. If not, just look up toward the sky. And you can even take your left hand to the top of the right leg if that feels good. And we'll give it another deep breath or two. Let's come back to center, bring the knees through. Keep your feet lifting and drop your knees now over to the right, keeping, again, the knees, the ankles glued together, arms out to the sides. Turn your head left if you can. And if it feels good, you can take your right hand on top of the left leg. Eyes open or closed. And giving it another deep breath or two. Coming back again through center, hug your knees in toward the chest. Give yourself a nice hug. Then let go of your legs. Settle back into Shavasana, or just lay down in bed and close your eyes and drift off to a nice, peaceful slumber.